Hi, Coach Jeff here to talk today about what the future holds for the real estate industry. Now, this video will deal specifically with my predictions for something that could happen anytime between next year and 10 years down the road, but these are, in my opinion, the top three trends that you're going to see in real estate investing, and they will affect both home buyers and sellers as well as real estate investors and realtors. But before we get started, if you can do me a favor and smash that like button on this video, if you like it, of course. If you don't, do what you think's appropriate, but subscribe to my channel if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Keeps allowing us to bring you guys some good content here. All right, let's get started with these future trends. What's the crystal ball say are going to be the top three trends in the future? All right, number one, fractional ownership. All right, fractional ownership. You're going to see a lot of properties in the future sell to groups or small amounts of individuals as fractional owners, in my opinion. We're seeing it in the luxury market right now. For those who are interested in the high-end luxury market, there are a couple of companies out there that will go and buy $32 million mansions that are on the water in the Pacific, beautiful places and things like that. They'll buy them, they'll go in, fix them up, and then they'll sell them to 8 fractional owners. In other words, 8 people or 8 couples that each get 1/8 of a year residency in that deal. It's kind of a really high-end Airbnb model. Anyway, that's translating now into regular homes in all areas of the country. So for rentals, you see it now in real estate trusts and things like that. They have a version kind of like that, but these are going to be smaller level, non-sophisticated, probably non-registered offerings. They're not going to be security offerings because they're going to be very small, but I think you're going to see this is going to help add wind to the sail of the pricing on properties across the U.S. Now, obviously this model is not necessary and probably would never be used in certain markets, but there are many markets where fractional ownership is a solution. So for example, the higher price markets of Los Angeles and New York City and some of these things, people may want to live there for part of the year and live someplace else for part of the year. And that's another trend that we've seen over the last few years, where people will own 2 or 3 homes around the country and spend parts of the year in these deals. That's a perfect demand for a fractional ownership solution. So we're seeing it happen now. Like I said, Los Angeles, New York, somebody comes in and buys a property and divides it into quarters, not the property itself, but the ownership. 4 different people buy an ownership and they each get a quarter of a year. I don't know how they work out all the details, but you're going to see fractional ownership be not only a challenge, but an actual solution to, in my opinion, a lot of problems that you see in real estate, because it eliminates issues that a lot of people have with regard to high interest rates, high mortgages, things like that, because these are typically done with cash buyers, and it's going to create some new demand out there in the marketplace. So like I said, this is a future trend that we've already seen. I predicted 2 years ago, which is people owning multiple houses. I've been doing it myself, where I've lived in 2 or 3 houses continuously for the last several years, and it works. In my opinion, it's great. If you want to, some days I want to be on the beach, other days I want to be in the farm country. I get a chance to live in both situations, and you're seeing more and more people do that. Fractional ownership is the solution. So that's number one on my crystal ball for the future. Number two, you're going to see multiple smaller homes out there. We're seeing it now. You're seeing containers that are being designed into homes, and they're being bolted together and built onto, and they're using like a container, 2, 3, 4 containers as part of a home. It's very easy to build these things in a shop, take them or rehab them in a shop under essentially sterile conditions, and then go to the field and assemble them. And it's quicker, it's cheaper than a stick-built home, it's cheaper than a rebuilt stick-built home, it's cheaper than a mobile home and a modular manufactured home. I think these are going to be the wave of the future. There's going to be built off-site, primarily using a pre-existing structure, whether it's maybe a mobile home, but more likely containers, the large 20 or 40 foot containers. And you're going to see homes built into these things and then reassembled out on site. And so a lot of people are learning to live with smaller homes, and this is a way to get them much cheaper too. So you're going to see modularized homes in some weird combination going into the future, maybe whole developments that are built around these things, but it will allow builders, if they're smart, to build offsite, install in the location, give somebody a little bit larger yard and that type of thing, or get more per acre on there. And it's a much more profitable model when you look at all the metrics involved. So multiple smaller homes, I think you're going to see happen. That's number two. The third thing that I think you're going to see the industry as a whole do, and this is something that's been predicted for years, but we're starting to see it increase exponentially very quickly. It is the technology involved. So there's been lots of technological changes in this industry over the last 10 years. The next 12 months, in my opinion, you're going to see more than you've seen for the last 10 years combined. There is technology out there today that uses artificial intelligence, and it is unbelievable. I mean, I've been able to take an inside look because we've actually built a product around, it's like an SaaS product. We built technology, AI technology, that will actually negotiate directly with a seller to buy their house, and will put it in the proper bucket of the best way to buy it, whether it's with terms, subject to, seller finance, seller carryback, cash, and it gives us exit strategies. Unbelievable. It does all the negotiation. As a real estate investor, it puts us out of work. We don't need acquisitionists. We don't need VAs anymore. We don't need people on the phone. It's all done directly between the computer, the AI, and the seller themselves. In fact, if you guys want to take a look at this thing, it's called, you can go to getdealbot.com. Get, G-E-T, dealbot, D-E-A-L-B-O-T.com. Getdealbot.com. You can check out the video there. Blair talks about the product, shows you, walks you through, sees how he was able to buy 4 houses. He woke up one morning and had 4 houses pre-negotiated directly with the computer and the seller on his plate. Easy to do. That kind of thing in the future, it's going to put a lot of people out of business. It's going to take and make this pyramid even steeper, and you're going to see a few people do a lot better, a lot of people do a lot worse, and I think there's going to be ramifications and implications at the real estate professional realtor level. Out there, you're going to see a lot of the things that were done manually take place with AI technology, that type of thing. And people, believe it or not, and this is one of the last things that I'll tell you, but there's been a lot of studies over the last couple of years. People are more honest with their computer than they are talking to a person. So people will give correct answers to an AI computer, or more honest answers, than they will to talk to a person. So with that in mind, you're going to be able to see that kind of thing play into our society, or the real estate infrastructure in the future. You're going to see a lot of takeover by technology and a lot of eliminations. You know, some of it's good, some of it's bad. There's always different things, ways to look at these kinds of things. In my opinion, it is unbelievably beneficial for us as real estate investors. I believe you're going to find that for realtors, it's going to be beneficial down the road too. And for home sellers, frankly, they don't have a lot of people walking through their house and doing different things in order to buy property. So those are the top 3 trends: fractional ownership, multiple smaller homes, and technological advances. Keep your eyes on those things in the future. And as always, we'll keep you guys updated.